Hi, I'm Jamison Parker.
And I'm Darlene Parker. Welcome to A Dog's Life.
Today we're going to take a look at a uniquely American dog. In fact, it's one of the few hunting dogs developed solely in North America.
The Boykin Spaniel is a young breed. It's a product of the Deep South, specifically South Carolina. But it's rapidly gaining in popularity, and today this small dog can be seen all across America and Canada, as well as in several European countries.
So stay tuned while we discover exactly what it is that makes this spunky little dog so delightful.
It's spunky like me.
During the Revolutionary War, Camden, South Carolina was where Lord Cornwallis and 2,500 British soldiers attempted to bring the Carolinas under British control. And in fact, the Battle of Camden was the single worst American defeat of the Revolution. The British victory was short-lived, however, and less than a year later the British were forced to evacuate the area. They were pursued and harassed by Francis Marion, the famous swamp fox. One of the swamps where Francis Marion and his troops used to hide was the Watery River Swamp, a sportsman's paradise that is home to countless ducks and wild turkeys. It's an area where specialized hunting needs gave rise to a unique and tough little dog.
The story goes that on a Sunday, sometime between 1905 and 1910, a banker named Alexander White was walking to church in Spartanburg, South Carolina, when he was befriended by a small stray puppy of the spaniel type. White took the little dog home with him and named it Dumpy. When Dumpy showed some aptitude for retrieving, White sent the little dog to his friend and longtime hunting partner, L.W. Boykin. Boykin developed the stray into a superb turkey hunter and retriever, and it was this dog that became the foundation for the Boykin Spaniel. While no one knows for certain what other dogs L.W. Boykin used to create the breed, it is believed that he used the Chesapeake Bay Retriever, Springer Spaniel, Cocker Spaniel, and the American Water Spaniel. Which brings us to the question, is the Boykin a spaniel or a retriever? The Encyclopedia of North American Sporting Dogs lists it as a retriever. And on an abnormally cold December day in Mississippi, we got to see just how fine a retriever the Boykin is.
Jamison, you ever had the pleasure of hunting with a Boykin?
I never have, as a matter of fact. Actually, to be honest, I've only met 2 other Boykins besides Abby. So
well, she usually makes a pretty good social impression upon everyone. But she's going to have to prove her skills to you in the field, I think.
Oh, look at her.
You ready? Are you ready?
She's about as adorable as any dog has a right to be. And she's totally glommed onto that chug-a-duck.
Yeah, we got ducks working. Oh yeah, we got locked wings right out front. Right out front.
He's dropping in. He's dropping in.
Come on in. Let him come. Get him. Can you get him? It's a Norwegian. Abby! That's way out there. She may not get that bird.
I can't tell you how impressed I am at what we're watching. There, now she got into a little bit of land.
Back.
And she is well trained.
Look at
there.
that dog
Look at
breaking
that.
ice.
Look at that.
Pitch it up. Come on.
Good girl.
Atta girl.
Good girl. What a good job.
Good job, babe. What kind of drive does it take for a person or an animal to get into something like that?
Yeah, that's born in. You can't train that into any dog.
Bring here, babe. Thank you.
The breed standard, as described in the Encyclopedia of North American Sporting Dogs, calls for males to range from 30 to 40 pounds, while females range from 25 to 35 pounds. The Boykin is not recognized by the American Kennel Club, but it is recognized by the United Kennel Club and the Continental Kennel Club. And the Boykin Spaniel Society in Camden, South Carolina holds a hunt test each spring. Additionally, Boykin Spaniels compete regularly in trials sanctioned by both the North American Hunting Retriever Association and the Hunting Retriever Club.
What a good girl. Listen to those ducks.
Touch it up. Close in here. Heel it. Sit. Hold on to it. Hold it. Thank you.
Now, you said that Abby spends a lot of time with you, travels with you.
Yeah.
Goes down the road with you.
Absolutely.
Lives in the home with you.
It's pretty much become known that if I'm coming, Abby's probably coming with me. That's important. You know, like we were talking about earlier, dogs pick up on things that you do on an everyday basis, and it helps them understand what you mean. And You know, in retrieving dogs, if they don't do something you ask, it's because they don't understand. If you can ever make them understand, that's the biggest key to it, you know. So,
You see, what I see here is, first of all, this is clearly a very intelligent dog. This is a dog that really wants to be a part of the team. But what I'm also seeing is a dog that is totally glommed onto you. Look over there, by the way.
Look at
the
her,
dogs.
looking at
Yeah, I know. But she is totally glommed onto you. I mean, she's polite, she's pleasant to everybody. She's just as sweet as she can be. But boy, she's watching you constantly. What does the boss want now? What does he want now? What does he want now? And that comes from from spending time with the dog and interacting with the dog. And a lot of that, I'm sure, is just the unconscious interaction of being in the house with her, playing with her.
She's an excellent pet. I mean, you know, she sleeps on my wife's pillow every night, right above her head. I mean, you know, what more could you ask for to have just a great pet, a companion, and a dog that just loves to hunt?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
Just amazing.
When we come back, Darlene will take your health questions to Dr. Marty Smith. Time now for this week's Ask the Vet segment, brought to you by the Doctors Foster and Smith, America's foremost suppliers of pet care products. Let's join Darlene and Dr. Marty Smith as he answers your dog care questions.
Wayne Jones from Kenora, Ontario wrote asking, my dog got sprayed by a skunk. My neighbor told me to bathe him in tomato juice. It didn't do a thing. Help.
It's a pretty common problem, Darlene. There's no really great answer. Tomato juice and some of the things that are sold over the counter are purported to work. Here in the clinic, one of our technicians came up with a solution that's probably as good as anything. They take a quarter of a cup of Dawn dishwashing, a quart of hydrogen peroxide, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
Right.
Mix the solution together, put it on the dog, let it dry. Once it's dried, then rinse it off. Because of the peroxide, it will sometimes make a black dog slightly brown or something like that, but that's quickly gone. But that's probably the best solution that we've ever had.
So Marty, there really isn't anything that we can absolutely count on. This is as good as we can get.
You know, there's, like you say, there's nothing really available. This recipe the technicians here at the clinic came up with, it works as good as anything, but still, no matter what that night, there may not be a house dog, and the kennel may be in the back of the truck, and the dog may not be right in the front seat.
I'll guarantee you the dog won't be riding in the front seat. All right, Wayne, sorry we couldn't help you with anything better, but that's as good as we can get. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Marshall. You'll stay out of those skunks, won't you? Thanks,
So you're
Marty.
welcome, Marshall.
Today's episode of A Dog's Life is brought to you in part by Doctors Foster and Smith, the only pet products company owned and operated by practicing veterinarians.
Time now for this week's training class, brought to you by the Retriever Journal.
It takes birds to make a bird dog. Early on in a dog's career, when they're a year and a half old, the first season or two, all you're really trying to do is wake up their genes, to turn them on to birds. A game farm is a great place to start. Shooting preserve pheasants, chuckers, or quail are wonderful for a young dog. But there's nothing like wild birds. And there's no place, in my opinion, quite like South Dakota to get into wild birds. I get out as often as I can, usually about once a year. The access is wonderful. There's public production areas, there's wildlife management areas, and there's a lot of friendly farmers who will let you on their land. Many of the readers of the Pointing Dog Journal make annual treks out to South Dakota. The prairie states are a great place. They were just made for a young dog. So we're going to go see if we can find some. Let's go, Liberty.
As serious duck hunters know, there are 3 keys to successful duck hunting: location, location, location. Thanks to the efforts of outfitter David Melton, we were lucky enough to find a honey hole near the casino resort town of Tunica, Mississippi. We hunted an area where flooded timber, a flooded rice field, and a slough all came together. It was a perfect prescription for a spectacular day of waterfowling, made even more unforgettable by the little Boykin named Abby. Abby's owner, Jake Marquis, had driven all the way up from his home in Fairhope, Alabama. Now that's a long way to drive for a day of duck hunting, but well worth it when the ducks insist on coming into your decoys.
Look at these teal. Abby, Abby.
Big 3 coming in from the right.
Mark, Mark. Atta boys!
Hey, good shooting. Good shooting.
Come here. Abby, look at me. Abby, look. Back.
And gonna work. They hit the decoy.
Mississippi outfitter Dave Melton scouted this particular honey hole for us, and as wave after wave of teal and mallard pairs and even a lone spoonbill poured in on top of us, I began to think that Dave deserved a special award or commendation for finding this piece of paradise.
Yeah, this is more Abby's cup of tea here.
Yeah.
She didn't have to plow through the ice.
It's Abby. Come here.
And you know, and the green wing are a little easier for her to pick up. Here we go, incoming.
Right here on top, guys. Step on up, Jameson. Get in that little hole right there. There you go, right there. Right on top, big greenhead coming in. Great shooting, guys. Thank you.
Little Miss Abby was just a joy to watch, going out over and over again for singles, doubles, even a triple. She had plenty of practice on blind retrieves, too. But thanks to her nose and drive and native instinct, not to mention Jake's superb handling, not a single bird was lost in a day when many birds were shot.
Well,
Right here, right here.
look at that retrieve. That's a significant weight, a portion of the weight of that dog. I mean,
Yes,
look at
it
that. What a beautiful job. You've got a good dog. I hope
Abby,
you're proud
look
of
at
her.
it. Come around here. Come around here. Come around this way.
Look at her. Oh, yeah. We're dropping in.
Look here. Is this unbelievable, James?
This is fabulous.
Look at this.
Is,
I mean, there are literally thousands of ducks.
look at this.
Right here.
And they're piling in, too. Good.
Fetch him up, girl. That a girl.
Good
Fetch him up. Let's
girl.
go. Let's go. She can find the handle on him, boy.
2, 3. Front page in the
You want me to send her on
Boykin
that other one real quick? Had up, baby.
Good girl.
Nice job. Heel, let's go.
What a good girl.
I've spent a lot of time sitting in duck blinds over the years, and I've been fortunate enough to have had some pretty spectacular hunts upon occasion, but this was just unbelievable. Dave's nephew, Hunter Garrett, joined us, and he showed that he knew what to do with a duck call.
Call to one. There's one up there. There's one up there right now, locked up. You are the man. Just let him get out in front.
Just say when you're going to shoot.
Let him get in here. Let him come. Get him.
Take him,
Can you
take
get
him. Good shot, whoever got that. Good shot.
Back.
Good.
Fetch him up, baby.
Good
Come
girl.
on. Good girl.
Little dog with a big duck.
You
Whoops.
found the handle, didn't you? Come here, baby.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day she brings in a goose, a greater Canada goose. Oh, that's a
Good
beautiful.
job. If there was ever any doubt about Boykin Spaniels, folks, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt now.
Is there any doubt?
Not at all. 3, right out in front, coming in. Coming in.
You'll notice when we take our safeties off. Look at her. Boy, she saw that. Abby. Okay, there's... But as I was saying, you notice how she's creeping. I've never really, stopped her from doing it. Her blind retrieves are so solid that I'm not concerned about a duck or a dove that falls where she didn't see it.
A dog is perfectly trained when it has no sins that you can't live happily with.
That's right.
And you've got a wonderful little dog. You don't care if she creeps a little.
No, I don't
And
care.
you know what? She's not leaving. She just wants to be out in front of your foot. Here we go. Incoming.
Abby, stay. 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 Pintails on the right. Just let him get in here. Let him get in here.
Dropping
That
in.
Dave,
He's
that
dropping
Dave's
in.
way out there. Let him come on in. Let him come. Get him.
Take him,
Can you
take
get
him, take him. Good shot.
I gotta be honest with you, David. You bust some daggone ducks now.
Well, this is an incredible area. I mean, it's truly what you've got here is remarkable. Look at this. You've got 3 more coming right in. I mean, we could be out there dancing the Watusi, and they'd still be trying to drop in here.
Watching Abby and Jake working together as a team was perhaps the highlight of this trip. The bond between dog and owner is always wonderful. But when man and dog are working together for a common goal, when all those months of training pay off in a display of spectacular teamwork, then you know you're seeing something really special. That 35-pound bundle of energy and enthusiasm made this hunt one of the most memorable I have ever experienced.
What a good girl. I'm extraordinarily impressed with the grit, the determination, the biddability, the sweetness, the intelligence of that little dog. And in spite of the owner, she's made something of herself. Think of the obstacles that dog has had to overcome given who owns her. Just think what that dog could have achieved if only she'd been my dog.
Is the Boykin the ideal dog for everyone? No. If you like to hunt Bob White from horseback or Canada geese in frigid water, you'd be better served with another breed. Nor is this a dog for someone who isn't willing to put in the time and training and love that the Boykin needs. But if you're willing to make the commitment, you too could have a dog like Miss Abby.
Good girl.
Atta girl.
Good girl. What a good job.